Shalom Israel. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street. I'm New York. I'm the commanding Johanna. I'm Christian of God. And today is our Sabbath service. We say Margin from Sistan. Lions God, me, Israel. East, 22. But it said the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw, Shabashamayim, Kodash, Yah, Ka, Hawa, Malakufka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Yah, Aisha, Baratiza, Koba, Kaya, Bashamayim, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakan, Ka, Yawam, Wasalakno, Kawawatno, Kasalakno, Kawawatino, Wala'a, Tabianawa, Banisay Wam, Abal, Awashino, Ayan, Ba, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa'ala, Zapara, Iwalamyam, Ma. In the image of our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, here on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. We're going to say the Hakak or the power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Babakashai, Nathan Lanaw, Hakak, Hakak, Araba'a, Hamaka'ala, Kamadawo, Hakak, Lataha, Hamatazariah, Hakak, Lahakayam, Hamatayam, Hakak, Arakawat, Hamata'ala, Lagarasham, Hashem, Yarushai, Warama. In the English, we said, Lord, in the name of your Son, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness, all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of your Son, thank you. So be it. We're going to say, bless Israel, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakanaw, Vayashhala, Wahabiyah, Superior, Barak, Hashem, Yahushua, Warama. In English, he said, Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us and Israel and the school in the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. We're going to say Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'a, Ayanya, Alariyam, Ma'ayam, Yama'a, Azaria, Azaria, Ayam, Awa, Aisha, Shamayam, Ma'aratisa, Ayatan, Lamawat, Ragarika, Ayawan, Shamarka, Ana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yashad, Shawama, Yasha'al, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tizaka, Aliyah, Yamyanka, Yawama, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Bayarak, Balayara, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Bakara, Yashama, Atnashmaka, Yahweh, Yashama, Tazahatka, Bawabaraka, Mayata, Wai, Iowa, in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is the shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth, and even forevermore. Psalm 83. Psalm 83 in Hebrew. Keep Salakia. Alahayim. Al Damayalaka. Al Takarat. Al Tashapah. Al Kayahana. Awiyadaka. Yahama Yawan. Wamashanayaka. Shanayarash. I Maka. Arima Yamwa. Sawada. Ayata. Aikazawa. Aikazapawanka. Amaru. Lakawa. Wayakakadam. Magawiya. Wala'a. Yazaka. Shamia Sha'ala. Aiwa. Kaya. Nawa Aikazawa. Laba. Yakarwa. Ayaka. Baria. Lakarafra. Ahalia. Alawam. Wayashamai. Alayam. Awa Abba. Wahagarayim. Ibal. Wa Aimawan. Wa Aimala. Palasha. Aimyashabia. Tazabo. Gam Ashawo. Nalawa. Aimam. Alawa. Zarawa. Labanialawa. Salah. Aishalaham. Kamadia. Kasayasara. Kayabia. Adam, La Adama, Shayatamwa, Madaya Mawa, Kaiba, Wakazaaba, Wakazaba, Wakatazmana, Kanasea Kamwa, Shah, Amarwa, Rasha, Lanawa, Nakawa, Alahaya, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagagala, Kafash, Lapanira Waka, Kaash, Labair, the Ira, Wakalahaba, Talaha, Ariam, Taradakma, Wasaraika, Wasa, Wapaska, Tabahala, Palaham, Panyaham, Palawan, Wayawakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Wapashwa, Wayawahalwa, Ar, Kaparwa, Yabarwa, Daiwa, Yatha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labatia, Ayawan, Alkaha, Ratza. In English, Psalm 83. Keep thou silent, O God, and hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee, lift up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, exalted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel will be no more remembrance. But they have consulted together with one consent. They have confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, and Moab, and the Hagarenes, the Baal, Ammon, Amalek, and the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assyria also joined with them, therefore for the trail of blood Salah, who unto them, as unto the Midianites, as to Jabin, the brook of Kisum, which perished Endor. They became as dung in earth. They their noble like Arak, like Z, yea, all their princes as a bar, as Salmon said, let us take ourselves, houses of war in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as a fire burning the wood, as a flame setting the mountains on fire. So persecute them like tempest, make them afraid like storm. Fill their faces with shame that they may see thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, and the Most High, over all the things. We will say ISUPK curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth. all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, listen to us now, right now, the evils and curses, punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school, the evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen should lose the treasures of the rich of Israel that refuse to go to the school, towards their riches into thy sanctuary, the evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek's and armies, the Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Christianity, so that the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, Skinner, Wasikumatazi, the gay movement, lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Wall Street, of the internet, and the airways, cable access channels, and the radio channels, convict the spirit of any like people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction, all the heathen that stand in the way, trying to stop us from casting the words of the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth, consume them. Let the plagues shoot the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael, Gabriel come down with the flying saucers, punish all the heathen that come up against us and speak their word. For it to be known by all that it's agents that have done it. For it to be spread through the media, for the whole world, for them to shake at that coming. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So here. The Shabbat which means to be seated. Today we're going to continue the reading in the book of Leviticus chapter 11, continuing from verse 42. The book of Leviticus, chapter 11, and continuing from verse 42. Kal, Hawalak, I, Gakawan, Wakar, Hawalak, I, Arabai, Aida, Kal, Marab, Ragalayim, Lakal, Asharatazar, Asharath, Asharat, I, Haratazar, Ha'aratazar, La'a, the Alkalawan, Kaya, Shapatazaham. Verse 43. Allah, Tashakwatazawa, Af, Napashatha Yakab, Bakal, Arashat, Salakya, Asharatazar, Arashatazar, Wala'a, Fatamalawa, Baham, Wanatamath, Bam,
Verse 44, Kaya, Banya, Yahweh, Alahayakum, Mahata, Kowadatham, Waha, Yayatham, Padashim, Kaya, Padashim, Padawash, Anaya, Wala'a, Sata, Ma'awa, Af, Napashata Yakum, Bakal, Hasharataza, Harashawa, Harashamash, Harataza. Verse 45, Kaya, Banya, Yahweh, Hama'ila, Athakam, Ma'arataza, Matazaria, Lahayath, Lakam, La'alahayam, Lahayath, Hayatham, Padashayam, Ya, Padamash, Anaya, verse 46, Za'atha, Tawarath, Abraham, Mahaiwa, Wakal, Napash, Ashayash, Hakamashach, Bamayam, Walakal, Napash, Asharatazah, Aratazah, verse 47, Aham, Maham, Labahada Dayala, Ya, Atama'a, Wabayan, Ataha, Wabayan, Ataya, Anakala, Wabayan, Akayaha, Asherah, La'a, Asakal. The book of Leviticus, chapter 12, and verse 1. Where the bar, Yahweh, Allah, Mashah, La'amar, verse 2. And the bar, Allah, Manya, Yasha'ala, La'amar, Mashah, Kaya, Tazaraya, Wayalada, Zakah, Watama, Shala'aitha, Yam, Kayamaya, Nadaf, Dawata, Datama, in English. The book of Leviticus, chapter 11, and verse 42. Whatsoever goeth upon the belly, and whatsoever goeth upon all fours, and whatsoever have more feet among all creeping things, creepeth upon earth, them ye shall not eat, for they are an abomination. Ye shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall ye make yourselves unclean with them, that ye should be defiled thereof. Verse 44. For I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy. I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of creeping things that creepeth upon you. For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt to be your God. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law of the beast, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. The book of Leviticus, chapter 12, and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a woman had conceived seed and born a man child, then she shall be unclean 7 days, according to the days of the separation, for her infirmity shall be unclean. So let's get a quick backdrop of the laws that govern the nation of Israel, which are the clean and unclean laws, right? There are those separating those of beasts, right? Because as you know, when we were in Egypt, we learned a lot of things that were not of the law, right? The Egyptians worshipped a lot of animals, and they ate anything and everything that was under the sun, right? That is what those Africans did. And this was for us to be able to relinquish and relieve ourselves of those culture of the Egyptians that we did at that time, and not just the Egyptians, but all the other nations that were around at that point in time. So the Lord separated us, right, from all those unclean foods and the different things that we would make ourselves abominable with. And now we're going into us being more on the human side, which is understanding the clean and unclean aspects of us as among each other, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So we're starting here with a woman when she's unclean, right, during when she gave birth, right? And we'll understand what's taking place from there. So we'll continue reading in Hebrew. Book of Leviticus, chapter 12 and verse 3. Wawayawam, Hashemayam, Wayamawala, Bashar, Arelataywa, verse 4. Washalashayam, Yawam, Washalashata, Yam, Tashar, Badamaya, Tahara, Bakar, Dash, La'ar, Taga'ar, Wala'ar, Wa'ala, Hamakodash, La'ar, Taba'ar, Aida, Mala'af, Yamaya, Tahara, verse 5, Wa'amar, Nafab, Talab, Watamar, Taba'ayim, Canada, Washashayim, Yawam, Washashaf, Yamayam, Tashab, Ar, Yamaya, Fahara, Fahar, the 6, Wabamalah, Yam, Tahara, Laban, Awa, Labaf, Tabaya'a, Kabash, Ban, Shanata, Wa, La'ila, Waban, Yawan, Awa, Ak, Farad, Akata, Asa, Allah, Fataka, Aha, Mawa'id, Allah, Akahan, or seven. Wahakwara Yaba, Wa, Wakanya, Wahawa, Wakapa, Ayah, Watahara, Mamakura, Damaya, Za'atha, Tawarath, Ayalada, Lazaka, Awa, Lanakwab, with eight, Wa'amah, La'a, Tabatazar, Ladaha, Leya, Sha'a, Walakwaka, Shataya, Tarayam, Awa, Shalaya, Maya, Yawana, Akad, La'ila, Wa'akad, Lakata, Wakapa, Aliyah, Akahan, Wa'ata, Raha. Book of Leviticus chapter 13 and verse 1. ويرضى يقوى Allah Mashal wa Allah Aharon Lahma. In English, the book of Leviticus chapter 12 and verse 3. And in the 8th day of the flesh of his foreskin shall he be circumcised, and she shall then continue in the blood of her purification 3 and 30 days. She shall touch no hollow thing, nor come into the sanctuary until the days of her purification be fulfilled. But if she bear a male child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her separation, and she shall continue in the blood of her purification 66 days. Verse 6. And when the days of her purification are fulfilled, for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon, and a turtle dove for a sin offering, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation unto the priest, who shall offer it before the Lord and make an atonement for her, and she shall be cleansed from the issue of her blood. This is a law for her that hath born a male or a female. Verse 8. And if she have not been able to bring a lamb, then she shall bring two turtles, or 2 young pigeons, and the one for the burnt offering, and other for the sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for her, and she shall be clean. The book of Leviticus chapter 13 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, Aaron, saying, continuing reading in Hebrew, the book of Leviticus chapter 13 and verse 2. Adam, Kaya, Haya, Ma'aiwo, Basharawo, Sha'atha, Awa, Sapakath, Awa, Baharath, Wahaya, Ma'aiwo, Basharawa, Lanagai, Tazara'ai, Wahawara, Allah, Aharan, Akahan, Awa, Allah, Akad, Mabayanawa, Akahan Nayam, verse 3. Wara'a, Akahan Ab, Anagai, Maiwo, Abashara, Washaira, Banagai, Apa, Laban, Wamara'a, Anagai, Aimakwa, Maiwo, Basharawa, Nagai, Tazara'aitha, Hawa'a, Wara'a, Hawa, Akahan, Watama, Atawa, is 4. Wahama, Baharath, Labana, Awa'a, Ba'aiwo, Basharawa, Wa'aimakwa, Ayan, Mura'am, Man, Ba'aiwo, Washaira, La'a, Apaka, Laban, Wahasa, Gayara, Akahan, Af, Anagai, Shama'aitha, Yam, verse 5. Wara'aha, Hawa, Kahan, Wayawam, Ashabayaya, Ana'a, Hanagai, Aimad, Ba'ayamayo, La'a, Sha, Anagai, Aiwo, Wahasa, Gayara, Akahan, Shama'aitha, Yam, Shamayah, the 6. Wara'aha, Akahan, Asawa, Mayawam, Ashaba'aya, Shamayah, Wahan, Kahaha, Anagai, Wala'a, Pasha, Anagai, Ba'aiwo, Watahawa, Akahan, Masapafaka, Hawa'a, Wakabas, Wabadayo, Watahar, Wasem, Wahama, Washa, Tapas, Amasa'apatha, Ba'aiwo, Akaraya, Ara'athawa, Allah, Dahan, Lataharawa, Anarath, Shanayath, Allah, Dahan, 8. Wara'a, Dahan, Awaha, Washath, Amasapatha, Ma'aiwo, Watamahawa, Akahan, Tazara'ai, Hawa'a. In English, the book of Leviticus chapter 13 and verse 2. When a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, a scar or bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh, like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought into Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons the priest. And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy, and the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. Verse 4. If the bright spot with the white in the skin of his flesh, and in the sight do not be deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof do not turn white, then the priest shall shut up him that had the plague 7 days, and the priest shall look on him the seventh day, and behold, if the plague in his sight be at a stay, and the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut it up 7 more. Verse 6. And the priest shall look on him again the seventh day, and behold, if the plague is somewhat dark, and the plague spread not in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean. But it is but a scab, and shall wash his clothes and be clean. Verse 7. But if the scab spread much abroad in the skin, after that he had been 7 days, after that he had been seen of the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen of the priest again. Verse 8. And if the priest see that, behold, the scab spreadeth in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprosy. So we see, even back in that time, we haven't understood what is to be quarantined and how to deal with diseases, even at that time, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native. So I'm going to continue in the Hebrew. The book of Leviticus, chapter 13 and verse 9. Nag-ay, tazara'ay, kaya, haha, Adam, hawaba, Allah, akahan, verse 10. Ora'af, makahan, mahana, sha'ata, laban, ba'aywo, wahaya, apaka, sha'ayra, laban, sila ke wara'a, akahan, mahana, sha'ata, laban, ba'aywo, wahayara, apaka, sha'ayra, laban, wamakaya, Bashar, Kaya, Bashakata, Basilan, Tazara, Aita, Nawashanaf, Awa'a, Aiwo, Basharawa, Watama Awa, Akahan, La'a, Yasagara, Garnawa, Ya, Tama, Awa'a, verse 12, Ama, Parahaka, Paparaka, Atazara Aita, Ba'aiwo, Wakasaf, Atazara Aita, Ata, Ka, Aiwo, Anagai, Mara'a, Ashawa, Wa'aida, Wadala Yawa, Nakala, Mara'a, Ayanaya, Akahan, Stati, Wara'a, Akahan, Wahanaha, Pasata, Atazara Aitha, Af, Basharawa, Watahara, Af, Anagai, Lakawa, Apaka, Laban, Tahawo, Awa'a, verse 14, Wabayawan, Awaf, Bawa, Bashar, Akaya, Yatamwa, 15, Ra'a, Kahan, Af, Abashara, Akaya, Batama'awa, Abasha'a, Akaya, Tama, Awa'a, Tazara'aitha, Awa'a, this in English, the book of Leviticus chapter 13 and verse 9. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, Then he shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall see him. And behold, if the rising be white of the skin, and have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising, it is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh. And the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. And if a leprosy break out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy cover all the skin of him that had the plague, from his head even to his foot, wheresoever the priest looketh, then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean that had the plague. It is all turned white, he is clean. But when raw flesh appeareth on him, he shall be unclean. Verse 15. And the priest shall see the raw flesh, and pronounce him to be unclean. For the raw flesh is unclean, it is a leprosy. This is how the Most High fought black Hispanics and Native Indians. You understand through the wisdom of the Most High how to deal with diseases, how to analyze it, and how to treat it. Continue reading in Hebrew, the book of Leviticus, chapter 13 and verse 16. Awa kaya Yashawar Habashar Hakaya Banaha Kapa Lalabawa Salak Lalaban Waba'a Allah Akahan 17 Ra'aha wa Akahan Wahanaha Mahapaka Anagai Lalaban Watahara Akahan Hanagai Salakia Hanagai Tahawo Hawa'a was 18 Wabashara Haya Hayaha Wa Wa'ayrawa Shakayam Wanarapa'a was 19 Wahayaha Mamakorawan Ashakayam Sha'ata Laban Awa Baharath Labanaha Adamadama Wanaraha Allah Ahan. Verse 20. Wara'aha Hakahan Wahara Mara'ah Shapala Na Iwo Washa'ira Apaka Naban Watama'awa Hakahan Naga'ai Wazara'aitha Hawa'a Washakayim Hawaka. Verse 21. Wa'ama Yara'ahan Kahan Wahana Ayam Ba'a Aishara Aisha Salamashaira Laban Washapala Ayanana Man Aiwo Wahaya'a Kaha Wahasag Yarawa Han Aitha Yam. Verse 22. Ma Shafa Tapash Iwo, Watamaha, Akahan, Atawa, Nagai, our R. In English, the book of Leviticus, chapter 13 and verse 16. For if the raw flesh turn again and be changed unto white, he shall come unto the priest, and the priest shall see him, and behold, the plague be turned into white, then the priest shall pronounce him clean, that had the plague, he is clean. Verse 18. The flesh also, in which even in the skin thereof was a boil and is healed, and in the place of the boil there be a white rising, or a bright spot, white, and somewhat reddish, and it be shewed to the priest. And if when the priest seeth it, behold, it be inside lower than the skin, and the hair thereon be turned white, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy broken out of the boil. Verse 21. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hairs therein, and if it be not lower than the skin, but somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. Verse 22. And if it spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague. We continue reading in Hebrew. The book of Leviticus, chapter 22, Salach, chapter 13, and verse 23. Wa'amah takatahaya Aiman Habaharath La'ah Hashatah Tazarabath Hashakayim Awa'ah Wataharawa Akahan, verse 24. Hawa, Bashara, Hayah, Hayahaya, Iwara, Makawath, Bashar, Wahayath, Mahayath, Hamakawa, Baharath, Laban, Ha, Adamadamath, Awa, Labanah, verse 25. Wara'ah, Aha, Hakahan, Wahana, Nahapach, Aishara, Laban, Wabaharath, Wamahara, Aimakwa, Man, Iwo, Tazaraifa, Awa'ah, Bamakawa, Horaka, Watama'a, Atawa, Akahan, Magai, Tazaraifa, Awa'ah, verse 26. Wa'amah, Yara'ahana, Akahan, Wahana, Ayan, Babaharath, Aishara, Ban, Washapal, Ayanaya, Man, Ha'ai, War, Wahawa, Haha, Wahasaga Yarawa, Kahan, Tabaifa Yamyam, 27. Wara'ahawa, Kahan, Yawam, Ashabayaya, Amma, Hushar, Tapasha, Ba'aiwo, Watama, Akahan, Asawa, Madai, Tazara our art, 28, Muhammad, Pahatahya, Aiman, Abaharath, La'a, Pashata, Ba'aiwo, our art, Paha, Sha'atha, Amakawa, our art, Watahawa, Akahan, Ya, Tazaraba, Amakawa, our art, 9, Wahayash, Awa, Asha, Ya, Ayaya, Bawa, Nagai, Marash, Awa, Mazakwan. In English, the book of Leviticus chapter 13 and verse 23. But if the bright spot stay in his place and spread not, it is a burning boil, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. For if there be any flesh in the skin whereof there is a hot burning, and the thick flesh that burneth hath a white bright spot, somewhat reddish or white, then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the hair in the bright spot be turned white, and it be inside deeper than the skin, it is a leprosy broken out, the burning. Therefore the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy. Verse 26. But if the priest look upon it, and behold, there be no white hair in the bright spot, and it be no lower than the upper skin, be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut it up 7 days. And the priest shall look upon him the 7th day, and if it be spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy. And if the bright spot stay in its place and spread not in the skin, but somewhat dark in the rising of the burning, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. For it is an inflammation of the burning. 9. If a man or a woman have a plague upon the head, the beard, continuing again in the Hebrew, the book of Leviticus, chapter 13, and verse 9. وحياش حوا الشاف اليا وحيا بوا مدعاي مرشا حوا بزقان. Verse 30. Raha Akahan Ata Madaai Wahana Maraayan Aimakwa Man Aiwo Wabawa Shaira Tazahab Wada Bakwa Watama Watawa Akahan Na Takwa Awaa Tazara Aifa Arasha Awa Azakwan Awaa. Verse 31. Wakaya Yara'a Kahun Af Madaai Hanathaqwa, wa Hana, Ayan, wa Ahawa, Amakwa, Man, Iwo, wa Sha'ira, Shakara, Ayan, Muwa, Hawasagaya, Akahan, Af, Naga'ai, Hanathaqwa, Shaba Aisa, Yam, verse 32. Wara'a, Akahan, Af, Naga'ai, Bayawam, Asabaya Ayam, Wahana, La'a, Pasha, Hanathaqwa, Wala'a, Ayaha, Van, Sha'ira, Fazahab, Wamara, Hanapath, Ayan, Aimakwan, Man, Ha'aiwo, verse 33. Wahata, Belahka, Hata, Hanathaqwa, La'a, Lagalaka, Wahasaga, Gayara, Akahan, Af, Hanathaqwa, Shaba Aifa, Yam, Shamayaf, verse 34. Wara'a, Akahan, Af, Hanakapa, Bayawam, Ashabaya, Wahana, La'a, Hash, Hanapath, Ba'aiwara, Wamara'a, Han, Hawa, Ayana, Nawa, Aimakwan, Man, Aiwo, Watahara, Atawa, Hakahan, Wakabas, Magadayan, Wa'athar Hara, 65. Wa'amma, Hasa, Yapasha, Hanathaqwa, Ma'aiwo, Ahariya, Thahara, Hawa. In English, the book of Leviticus chapter 13, and verse 29. Sorry, verse 30. If a man or a woman had a plague upon the head or the beard, then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be from it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scar, even a leprosy upon the head or beard. And if the priest look on the plague of the spot, and behold, it be not in sight deeper than the skin, and that there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall shut it up that had the plague of the spores and days. And in the seventh day the priest shall look on the plague, and behold, if the spores spread not, and there be in it no yellow hair, and the scar be not in the sight deeper than the skin, he shall be shaven, but the skull shall not be shaved. But the skull shall he not shave, and the priest shall shut him up, but have the skull 7 more days. And in the 7th day the priest shall look upon the skull, and behold, if the skull not spread in the skin, or be in the side deeper than the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean. He shall wash his clothes and be clean. Verse 35. And if the skull spread much in the skin after his cleansing. Right, so we see here once more where blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians understood, understand cleanliness, understood how to deal with diseases, and understood how to quarantine and take control before diseases break out amongst the people and amongst the nation. These are things that we learned even from back then, right? And we were not caught up in all the plagues that all these other nations have. And this one made blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians powerful and separated us from all these other nations. With that, that brings us to the end of the Sabbath service. I'm not going to stand.
Yahweh Yahweh, which means Israel. So imagine open up the thumb to the right of his east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abba Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Yah, Shamka, Yahweh, Labaka, Ma'a, Zaka, Kaya, Kaisha, Maharatiza, Kawa, Kaya, Kashamaya, Latan, Lanawa, Lakan, Ka, Yawan, Wasalatno, Kawawatno, Kasalatno, Kawawatno, Wala'a, Wayanao, Wasaiwan, Ba, Washaino, Yon, Ya, Baka, Malaka, Wa'ala, Ara, Walamia. In English, that our Father, which art in heaven, or be thy name Yahweh, thy kingdom come, will be done, on earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, give us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, ever and ever. We're going to say Hakah for the power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahukashai, Nathanahu, Hakah, Hakah, Kamala, Kamala War, Hakah, Wahaha, Nazarai, Hakah, Mahakoyam, Matayam, Hakah, Wa, Wahala, Hashem, Hashem Yoshai, Wahama. In the English said, Lord, in the name of Yoshai, please give us a power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the leper, the power to raise the dead, the power to cast out spirits, to cast them all. In the name of Yoshai, thank you. We're going to see blessed Israel, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakanawa, Yashkala, Yah, Sakari, Barak, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, we even said, Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless us, Israel, and the school, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you. We're going to say Psalm 121 in Hebrew. Asha'ah, Yanya, Al-Haryam, Ma'ayam, Ya'ah, Azariah, Ma'ayam, Power, Ishasha, Ma'ayam, Ma'aratisa. Number one, God, I am Mark, now, I am while I am the Shanship of my Yahweh Shamarka, Yahweh Tisaka,
Yamyamka, Yawama, Ashama, Shapa, Yaka, Yara, Walayara, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Kara, Yashma, Atmashka, Yahweh, Yashma, Tazahaka, Wawaka, Ata, Lee, Man. In English, he said, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills from whence cometh my help. From the Lord will be my faith. The suffer I to move. He that keepeth even in slumber, behold, the faith of the will see. The Lord is thy keeper, the Lord is the shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. What shall preserve thee from all evil, shall preserve thy soul. What shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. You say Psalm 83 in Hebrew. Alahayam, Aldamayaka, Aldakarash, Alka Yehana, Aldayaka, Yehana, Wadashiyaka, Shamayarash, Ayamakaya, Yahweh Was, Wadar, Haitism, Zapuanka, Mara, Power, Drum, Garia, and eyes, the Kashmir, Allah, Wadar, the Yan, Haitism, the Bar, Yakara, the Kara, Yaka, the Rafa, Haya, the one, Yashmalayum, no Ara, no Raya, the Bar, the one, and the Shah. I may shadow as a war, Gamashu, the Wa, Mama, the Wa, the Manila Watsala, the Shalaham, Hamada, Masias Ra, the Yakin, the Nakar, for Yashma, the Shamalo, the Ra, the Wa, the Ra, the Zabal, the Ba, comes in the night, comes the Kali, the Kanga, a Shah, a Maro, the Russia, the Ba, the Ba, Alahaya, the Haya, Shiyakama, a Gagal, a Crush, a Panyara, a Ash, our Ira, Cover, our Hak, our young Kanta, our Duck, the right, our Sour Papa, our Hal, our Pop, and Hamka, one. We have a Quash, and Kali, the Hawa, the Mahalo, and Kari, the Paro, the Paro, the Diet, the Thar, the Kali, the Hawa, Bata, the one, and the Hak, the Bata. In English, Samuel tree, keep my silent about peace. Be not still about the Lord. Things make it small, with a daily happy. People have become some against the people, saw them, hidden ones. They have said, come on, let us cut them off from the nation in the name of Israel. They will no more remember us. They have consulted together with 1%. They are confederate against you. Some of the gods of Edom and Ishmael of Moab and have agreed. They bow, Ammon, Amalek, and Philistine. Assur is also joined with them. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. They came up with good. Give them with the horror of the sea, yea, all the prisoners of Bar, Zion, who said that it was set. The houses of God in possession. Oh my God, began like a wheel and something before him, the wood. As the flame set the mountains on fire, so persecuted by the tempest, they were afraid of the storm. Fill their face with shame that they may see them no more. Let them be confounded forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish. No, though, remember the Yahweh, most high. Please. We're going to say ISUPK persons. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, listen to us now, right now. Evils and curses and punishment and destruction. To the heathen, should lose the treasure of the rich of Israel. For the riches and the sanctuary. The evils and curses and punishment and destruction. To the heathen, should the evils and curses and punishment and destruction. The evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us. By prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. The evils and curses, punishment and destruction to the heathen should lose the treasure of the rich of Israel with the school. Because their riches in the sanctuary. The evils and curses, punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations, and the drug dealers, court system, prison system, and parenting. All the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues of armies, the Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Islam, Aryan nation, skinheads, proselytizing, gay movement, lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, Facebook, army, navy, air force, Marines, Wall Street, on the internet, on the airways, cable access channels, on the radio channels, but in the spirit, we have people that seek to stop us with swift destruction, all the heathen that stand in the way, or try to stop us from passing the words to the let loose all the plagues, because I'm going to approach the let the plagues to the house of the thief and the murderer, let the Hawashai, Michael, David, and all the forces, and punish all the heathen that stand in the way. Stop us. that will speak thy word. Cause it even by all that is the beginning of our beloved. Cause it will spread through the media, the whole world. Cause it will shake at the tongue in the name of your child. Psalm 22.
This brings us to the end of the Sabbath service. We give one quick salute. Ajam, Ra, the hour of our Shamir Shamir, and this concludes today's Sabbath.